Hey, this new watch strap's a bit tight, you know. But you chose well. I like it.
Ah, I thought it would suit you, TJ.
Right now then, gentlemen, let's get down to work. Is this it?
Yes.
Good. I think we'll start today with the percentages over the last quarter. I've been away, so surprise me now, Johnny. Sales?
Yes, well, an overall increase of 16%, which corresponds with 13% for the previous quarter.
I don't think that's all that stupendous.
Yes, but with a new slimline, we should improve all that with enough production to back us up.
A neat way of passing the buck, eh, Johnny? What about it, Ian?
Well, we had one or two minor shop floor stoppages while you were away, but should be all right now.
What the heck's this?
Oh, sorry, TJ. So no one seemed to have your brand, so I put some of my own in.
Should be all right. It's no good, Ian. Let's see your predicted figures. Thank you. And you, son, how are you getting on with the marketing?
Well, I've sorted out various suggestions for packaging the new slimline and advertising it, which await your final decision today.
You know, I go away to the States for 4 weeks, and what do I find when I get back? Nothing's been done. Hey, Arnold, what about that balance sheet I was going to have?
Well, you said you were going to let me have details of your personal expenses, T.
Oh, that's right. You just can't sit around here waiting for decisions from me. By gum. I don't know how long you'd lot exist without me.
Oh, TJ, Carol, can you...
Get a doctor.
Lord,
Get a doctor.
can you ring for someone?
Good evening. The question is, who done it? The chairman has been bumped off, and being the chairman of Whodunnit, I'm most anxious to find the murderer as quickly as possible, in case he's got a thing against chairman. But in a moment, you will see the investigation being followed, that death at the top. And then you can all decide who you think done it. But first, let's meet the panel who will be asking questions to help you later in the program. The two guests this week are a BPDD, which stands for Beautifully Pregnant Diana Dors. And NQSPWF, which stands for Not Quite So Pregnant William Franklin.
Good evening.
As usual, our residents are the lady with an intuitive eye for the right answer, Miss Anushka Hempel. And the man with two intuitive eyes on her, Patrick Mower. Four members of the studio audience are also going to try and solve whodunit, and win the trophy as well, of course. And we'd like to say welcome to them. And now don't forget that murderers are liable to lie through their teeth, even if they're dentures. So don't believe everything that you see or hear. And now, back to the boardroom. Detective Sergeant Harris, assisted by Detective Constable McGee, is already there questioning Malcolm Jackson, only son of the deceased.
I understand it. Mr. T.J. Jackson was holding a board meeting here, and you and your fellow directors were present.
Plus TJ's secretary.
Yes, Miss Carol Hellier.
She's more than the secretary, though, Sergeant. My father, known as TJ to everyone, was having an affair with Miss Hellier and making my mother's life a misery.
I'm sorry. Yes, these things do happen.
It was worse than that. TJ decided to leave my mother and set up home with her.
I see. Well, anyway, Miss Hellier was in here as well. Now, I'd like to establish what happened at this meeting, and I understand that you were the first to arrive.
Correct, as I told you outside. Well, I arrived a few minutes early to set out the new slimline pens so everyone could see them.
Morning, Malcolm.
Morning.
Well, let's hope these new slimlines get off the ground. My salesmen are getting fed up with the old stock.
Don't touch anything, please. Wait till TJ's seen them.
All right, all right. You haven't even given him one yet.
Oh, no. Thank you, Joey.
Now, how long have these two been in here,
Don't ask me.
Well, he's been away for weeks. He'll go mad if they're stale.
We'll get Carol to fill it later.
Oh, that's all right. I'll bung some of my own in. That'll keep him quiet.
At that moment, Peter Arnold, the company's secretary, came in. As he spoke to Johnny Worth most of the time, you better ask him.
Right, I think I'll do just that. Ask Mr. Worth to come in, will you? Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Mr. Worth? I want you to tell me about when Mr. Arnold joined you and Mr. Malcolm Jackson in here.
Yes, well, that should be easy enough. Malcolm and I were nattering to each other in here when Peter burst in like a nervous wrecked train. The company again.
Has anybody seen TJ yet?
No, why? You sold the company?
Oh, this is no time to be frivolous. I just wanted to have a few words with him before the meeting.
All right, calm down, calm down. Fretting won't do any good. Hey.
Ah, TJ.
Look where you're going,
Terribly
Peter, will you?
sorry, TJ. I just wanted to have a few words with you before the meeting, if that's...
I would have left to wait.
But this is,
No buts about it, man. Nearly killed my leg with that briefcase.
Oh, dear. Here, Carol.
Then he closed the door and I didn't hear any more. Then I continued talking to Malcolm in here.
I don't think that's important at the moment. The main thing is you stayed in here together.
We were never out of each other's sight.
Good, that'll save me some time. Ask Mr. Arnold to come in. Smoke?
No, thanks. I've given them up.
Wise man. Well, that'll be all for now.
Okay.
Come and sit down, Mr. Arnold.
Thank you very much. What dreadful business.
I only wanted to ask you what you said to Miss Hellier when you were out there in her office.
To Carol? Oh, well, I know what you mean, yes. I just wanted to talk to her about the figures in private. I wonder if you can help me. Do you have a copy of the quarterly accounts that you showed to TJ?
Somewhere here, yes. Well, don't panic. I know they're here somewhere because Tommy was looking at them earlier and I kept out a copy for file.
What are these pills?
They're for his heart.
Oh, I didn't know he had one.
Just leave them alone, will you? Oh, there you are.
Ah, thank you.
What's all the fuss? You'll all be discussing it in a minute in the meeting.
I know, but I stupidly didn't check them when my secretary typed out a new copy for TJ, and I think that... Ah, yes. She's put the decimal point in the wrong place.
What does that matter for the meeting?
Well, yes, it means we're showing much worse figures than we really have. Damn!
Well, you can explain it all in the meeting. Go on in there. You'll be all right.
Oh.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't forget this.
Oh, thank you. And sorry to have troubled you. And then I went back in there to wait for the start of the meeting. Is there anything else that you'd like to know?
No. But, may I see your briefcase a moment?
Yes, I left it in there somewhere. But what on earth do you want my briefcase for?
Just routine, sir. Do you mind if I open it?
Well, if you have to, I suppose, by all means, yeah.
Would you mind telling me what this is, sir?
Hello again. The chairman of Jackson Pens Incorporated has apparently been written off, and we are trying to find out how and who done it. So just in case any of you missed the first part of the story, let me recap what's happened so far. T.J. Jackson died suddenly during a board meeting. His son Malcolm is in charge of marketing a new line of pens, which he laid round the table. Now, he claims that his father was about to leave his mother for Carol Hellier, the father's secretary. And we know that Carol Hellier is administering heart pills to the old man. Johnny Worth, the sales manager, was seen to have filled the cigarette box with his own cigarettes. Ian Coburn, production manager, is yet to be interviewed. And Peter Arnold, company secretary, is so nervous that he bumped into TJ with his briefcase. On opening it, Sergeant Harris found a hypodermic needle.
To repeat the question, sir, would you mind telling me what this is?
Yes, that's my needle for insulin. I'm a diabetic, you see.
I see. Right, Mr. Arnold, I'll hang on to this for the moment, if I might. Do you have another syringe?
Yes, I have a spare one in my office. This one's broken anyway.
Fine. In the meantime, would you ask Mr. Coburn to come in?
Yes, certainly. I'll do just that.
And I thought we had a solid case earlier.
That's the point, lad. We do have a solid case. And that doesn't mean we've solved it. Ah, Mr. Colburn.
I do.
Just a couple of questions. I understand that you were the last member of the board to arrive.
Hi. I was delayed in getting my quarterly production figures ready. But I made it in time. Meeting started yet?
Hardly. Tommy doesn't start until you're all here, as you should know.
I've been picking up his watch from jewelers, so he can't blame me for being late. What's that then?
For his heart.
What are these?
Oh, it's the same thing. It's a new supply that's just arrived.
Hey, lad. When does he take all this stuff?
Twice a day. That dose is due now.
You're becoming quite the little nurse, as well as the prospective wife.
You can forget the wife bit. Tommy has decided to stay with his family.
Hey. That's a bit of a bombshell, hmm? Still, he might change his mind. Here, let me take this in for you.
No, I can do that.
Hey, you get your pad and your, what's it? And tell Governor we're ready. Tom! All sitting down with their neat little answers ready.
You'd better have some neat little answers ready. TJ doesn't have to be kept waiting.
Perfect alibi, son. I was picking up his watch from jewelers.
Oh, look what you've done, you clumsy idiot.
Don't panic, Junior. I'll clean it up. Honest, you folk treat the old man as if he were an ogre sometimes. Not bad. That ought to get me through meeting, eh?
Ian, do you have your predicted production figures with you?
Aye. Why?
Well, look, they can't match up to my figures, as there's been a typing error by my secretary.
So?
Well, I just hoped you'd back me up when it comes to light, otherwise TJ will try to make a fool of me.
Aye, he will. Don't worry. I'll back you up.
Thank you.
Hey, up. Carl's just come in. We'd better get seated.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning,
Morning,
TJ. I can't tell how late we are because I haven't got my watch back yet.
Ah, I picked it up for you this morning. I've just left it in
all right,
washroom.
all right. Stay where you are. I'll get it. Hey, Ian. This new watch strap's a bit tight, you know.
And I believe the rest you know. After he went back into the room, he started meeting and suddenly dropped dead.
It's the suddenness that bothers me. Well, thank you, Mr. Colburn. You've been most helpful. Right. Well, presuming the autopsy report confirms my diagnosis of administered poison, I think we're all wrapped up here.
Have you worked out who did it then?
Don't you ever listen to the words as you write them down? It's all there in your little book. I'm going to ring up the station, see if you can deduce it by the time I get back. And remember, deduction has two meanings.
Now then, was it the cigarettes, the syringe, the heart mixture, the watch strap, or the pen that killed TJ? While you're working that out, let's welcome our very businesslike suspects. Here they are. Right, panel, now that you've seen the end of the unacceptable face of capitalism, is there any part of the investigation you would like to see again? Up to 20 seconds worth, that is. Diana, what would you like to see again?
I would like to see the little part where the Mr. Worth refills TJ's cigarette box with his own brand.
The filling up of the cigarette box with his own brand of cigarettes. Right. Bill, what would you like to see
I'd
again?
like to see the piece where Coburn takes the drink of heart liquid from Miss Hellier and goes through into the board meeting.
Right. It shall be done. Anushka, what would you like?
Yes, I'd like to see the discussion in the loo between Mr. Coburn and Mr. Arnold when Mr. Coburn takes the watch off.
The loo discussion sounded like the Albert Hall, didn't it? Right. Patrick?
Yes, sir. I'd like to see the bit where Panicky Peter Arnold smashes that poor old man on the knee with that briefcase, please, when he's dashing into the...
Smashing his boss on the knee with the briefcase.
In the office.
Are you glad too, Bill?
Very happy about
You want to see that too? Well, you're all happy about that. Good, fine. Right, while we find those, let's get on with the questions. May I remind you that only the guilty party is allowed to lie, right? So, Diana, where you go? What about a question?
Yes. I would like to ask the Secretary, Miss Hellier, what the name of these heart pills that you were administering to TJ was.
Ethyl alpha parachlorphexine with HTO.
Yes, I know them well. I took them and I finished up in the condition I'm in now. Thank you. It was a great help. I think I'll pass over to my learned friend, Mr. Franklin.
Before I thread my way through the suspects, I'd just like to go back to the law for a moment. If you just clarify, perhaps it's a question of literature, the other meaning of deduction.
Oh, I mean that if you want to find something out, you can, in the sense of deduce, you can. It's a way of discovering something by one thing leading to another. On the other hand, there's a sort of strict meaning, whereby if you take one thing away from another, you can deduct something, more in a more mathematical sense and get a result.
I'd like to say you've been very helpful.
Would you like it in Russian?
That was.
All right.
I'd like to say that he was very helpful for me, actually. Thank you very much for that. But I'd like to...
Well, she's got very you put in your place, Franklin.
Malcolm, I'd like to put a question to you. Did you get your job in your father's firm because of the training you had done, or because you're his son?
Well, no, my father didn't help at all. I mean, I worked my way up from the bottom of Jackson's establishment, and I got where I am today from working hard in the advertising line. I think my colleagues would bear that out.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Patrick.
Yes, I'd like to ask Ian Cockburn a question, please.
Excuse me. Don't say Cockburn, say Coburn.
Oh.
That should be good for a bottle. Yes, carry on.
Any port in a storm? Sorry about that.
Yes, you want to ask Mr. Coburn a question. Yes, carry on.
The governor, your boss, in fact, he gave you a sort of bit of a ticking off, didn't he, about saying that don't just accept that it should be all right. He seemed not to rather like you being a working class fellow. Why would he ask you to get his watch strap for him and not, say, a secretary?
Well, having worked my way up from floor, getting onto the board, so to speak, I think he thought I was a bit of a threat, to the chairmanship.
But I mean, why would he ask you to get his watch strap for him? Do you usually do things? Are you sort of a dog's buddy? Because he liked you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was the only one that was unaffairable.
Yeah. And you didn't mind running errands for him and things like that?
I didn't look at it in that light. I saw it a different way.
Did he let you always wear it?
There I must stop you because the light is flashing along merrily and we're ready for the first playback. And the first playback is for you, Diana. You wanted to see the moment when TJ discovers that the cigarettes are not his brand.
Yes.
If you look at your monitor, there it is. Coming up now. That's you, but it'll be there in a second there.
Now, how long have these two been in here,
Don't ask me.
Well, he's been away for weeks. He'll go mad if they're stale.
We'll get Carol to fill it later.
Oh, that's all right. I'll bung some of my own in. That'll keep him quiet.
At that moment, Peter Arnold, the company's secretary, came in.
There. Was that of great help to you?
It was of some help.
Splendid. Would you like to pursue the matter and ask another question?
Yes, I think I would. Not appertaining to that particular clip, but I'd like to ask the son, Mr. Jackson, why he had to go to his father's briefcase and get his pen out for him.
From my briefcase? Well, I was setting them all out.
Yes.
And I had one left to put down on his place, but if you noticed, I was playing with it. It was broken. Unfortunately, Jackson's pens aren't all brilliant, so this one, the spring had gone. So I'd gone back to the briefcase to get another one. I have more in the briefcase.
I see. Thank you.
Yes, Patrick.
Yes, I'd like to ask Smooth, John Worth over there, a question. It's a really funny thing you said. You said that when you were talking to Peter, I think you were, you said Peter burst in like a nervous wrecked train.
Yeah, what's the question?
What is a nervous wrecked train?
Well, if you've ever travelled by British Rail, you should know.
Can I just follow that up?
Yes.
Can I ask you also, how long had you packed up smoking?
Oh, I'd say about 3 to 4 years ago.
And you carried cigarettes around in your pocket all the time?
Yes, I usually carry them around for clients.
Were they 3 to 4 years old as well?
No, no.
The clients of the cigarettes? Yes. Bill?
Miss Hillier, is your apparent proclivity towards the older man, which we've seen here, extended throughout your sexual life?
I always wonder whether one's sexual life is a proper matter for public consumption, but as you are making it public, I must say that all my life I have been attracted to older men, perhaps a father figure, perhaps a little like yourself.
Touché.
And
Well,
on attracting people, I'd like to ask Malcolm a question. Were you attracted to Miss Hillier at all?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're round ready for the next playback. This is Patrick's. Now, you wanted to see, Patrick, the section when Arnold bumps into TJ with his briefcase.
Yes.
There it is.
Just wanted to have a few words with him before the meeting.
All right, calm down, calm down. Fretting won't do any good.
Hey. TJ.
Look where you're going,
Terribly
Peter, will you?
sorry, TJ. I just wanted to have a few words with you before the meeting, if that's...
I will have to wait.
But this is...
No buts about it, man. Nearly killed my leg with that briefcase.
Yes, you're a very sort of nervous, panicky sort of fellow, aren't you, Peter? When you came in to ask Carol about your quarterly figures, for instance, I mean, you lit a cigarette at the door and then you had one puff and put it out straight away. What actually is wrong with you?
Nothing at all.
No, but I mean,
Absolutely. I'm perfectly calm, collected. Absolutely nothing wrong.
But what about the insulin? What is that for? That's for diabetes?
That's for diabetes. That's something...
Can you just tell me, I don't know anything about this, if insulin was injected into somebody that wasn't a diabetic, would it do them harm?
Well, you see, you're speaking to an accountant. I don't really know what goes on with
well, maybe, can I ask the policeman then? Detective Sergeant Harris. Do you know whether insulin, if injected in an ordinary person...
In small doses, I wouldn't say so.
No, in fact, it does not do any harm in small doses.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Bill.
Peter, I'd like to go back to some question which occurred to me here while you were talking, at least while you were being asked question. You came out with one of the most beautiful understatements that I think I've ever heard when you said, is there any way we can sort of hustle this through? Because my secretary has made a mistake of 1 decimal point. Now, this presumably could concern millions, hundreds of thousands. And I mean, it seems to me you hadn't done your homework before. Was your mind on other things that you allowed such a, I would have thought, a mammoth mistake to go through?
Well, sorry, what is the question exactly?
Well, was your mind so wrapped up on other things that you allowed a thing like that to pass? Because it was a major issue for the meeting.
Oh, no. In fact, this particular set of figures, it was a rerun of figures. We already had a copy of them, but this was a special copy for TJ because he'd been away. And no, it wasn't my fault at all. It was the secretary's.
How was the mistake still there from a rerun? Was it the mistake there in the first place?
Well, it was another copy because the first one wasn't quite up to date. It was done when TJ was away. But as he was back now, there were 1 or 2 things that, refined the figures a little, so I put them in.
You just said a moment to Patrick that you were very nervous that day particularly.
Oh, do you think so?
Yes.
Yes, I would have said so.
Oh, very
dodgy.
I'm in a psychotic on the gallop, I would have said.
Well, you're certainly making him even more nervous.
No, he's actually being so unnervous, I want to get at it and find out the other side of the schizoid.
Well, could we ask somebody else? I mean, Miss Hillier, who dishes out the pills and things, is Mr. Arnold always like this? Is he always a sort of agitated person?
I don't dish out pills to Mr. Arnold, but I've sometimes looked at him and felt perhaps I should.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Oh.
So he is an agitato.
He is indeed.
Yes.
A lot of people who are sort of important and in
Yes,
high
Bill
pressure
Franklin's a bit
business
like
get a
that
bit
at
like that.
times.
Yes, Bill
Mr.
Franklin.
Coburn, may I
No,
ask...
you can't.
I can't.
No.
No.
Not while the
Come.
little light's flashing, Bill, because we're ready now for your playback, which I'm sure you'd like to see. You've asked to see when Ian Coburn takes the heart pill mixture into the boardroom.
Not bad. That ought to get me through meeting, eh?
Ian, do you have your predicted production figures with you?
Yes, that's actually Anushka's.
That's Anushka's.
Mine becomes early
Did
today.
you learn anything from my playback, I want to know?
Not a great
'Cause you were
deal, because I was
concentrating very hard.
concentrating and thinking, what the hell had happened to the other one?
Right.
All right, fine. Now, Anushka, let's assume that was yours. What have you got to say about that?
Yes, I'd like to know why Mr. Do you usually wear TJ's watch? I mean, do you go around when it's being mended? Do you sort of say he's got a week to go and you've had it from, you know,
Yeah,
sort of
lass,
on your
that's the
arm
first time
for
it
ages?
broke down. First time I ever collected it.
I see. And you thought the best thing to do was to put it on your wrist?
No, I took it out paper and it looked nice, and as I don't wear a watch, I just sort of...
And you fancied
See what
yourself
it
in it
looked
quite a lot, didn't you?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Not really.
If he was the governor, if I can butt in, it must have been a very expensive watch, was it?
Very.
Very, and yet you were very casual. As Anushka said, you put it on your wrist and you left it hanging on the...
Well, so I think...
Safest place to carry it.
I'm not saying so. I think so would you. I mean, say one of these great new digital watches somebody had. Wouldn't you like to put it on and have a go and look at it? I think that's reasonable.
Very, very casual.
He's a bit flash altogether.
Yeah, I'm
though, isn't he,
trying to
really?
get... Were you...
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
he is.
hang fire a minute. We're getting out of control here.
I'd like to
Bill
ask
Franklin
Mr.
wants to say
Coburn,
something.
are any poisons used in the manufacture of any of Jackson's products?
Not in Jackson's pens.
None at all. There's no poison in any area.
That's why they're so good.
Do they make other things besides pens?
We have a few byproducts like ink.
Murder Incorporated.
Yes,
May I ask him a quick question? Did you not worry when you tasted this medicine, this heart mixture? Because frankly, I'd be very, very frightened to sort of taste anybody else's medicine in case it did something to me, particularly anything to do
Well,
with the heart.
medicine can't do any harm, Diana.
Can't it?
It didn't take too much last.
Well, it might have reacted
dip.
against his system, a certain kind of drug that was used. Who knows? Didn't bother you?
I didn't take a drink. I just...
Well, I know, but...
Yes, Patrick.
Can I ask the Detective Sergeant Harris, when you opened up Mr. Arnold's bag and you found the injector thing, the hypodermic, was the broken needle anywhere inside the briefcase?
Yeah. Oh, yes, it was attached, actually, which is what interested me.
But the needle, in fact, was broken off the top then, was it?
No, it was in place, actually. That's what.
It wasn't broken?
It was in place, yeah.
And
Yeah,
he, in fact, said it was broken.
If you'd like to see, look at it now. You see, it is very hard to see. And could you see that? And it was broken off
in
about
place,
there.
but he
It was
then
in place.
informed...
There it is on. There it is off.
Ah.
It's hard to see. Well, the red light is flashing, so I hope now that we are going to get Bill's playback. Bill, you'd like to see where Ian Coburn takes the heart pill mixture into the boardroom. And I hope here it is.
What's it? And tell Governor we're ready. Tom! All sitting down with their neat little answers ready.
You'd better have some neat little answers ready. TJ doesn't have to be kept waiting.
Perfect alibi, son. I was picking up his watch from jewelers.
Oh, look what you've done, you clumsy idiots.
Don't panic, Junior. I'll clean it up.
Yes, you wished you'd asked for something else,
I'd
you see.
wished I'd got a little further back, actually, so that wasn't really quite as much help as I expected.
Well, far ahead and ask some questions.
I want to ask, actually, TJ's son. You said that your father was about to leave your wife. You, Miss Hellier, said that he was not going to leave his wife. Now, there seems to be a conflict of information here. On what grounds were you assuming that your father was going to leave your mother?
Well, my father's just come back from America, and prior to him going to America, he informed my mother and myself that he was leaving her. That's as far as I know from the situation, as before he left to go to America.
And before I go on to Miss Hellier, could you just give us all a piece of information? In the event of your father dying, who would inherit the business?
Well, my mother would inherit the business, and so the directors would then work it for her.
Can I just, if anything happened to your mother, who would inherit then?
It would then come to me.
Ah.
Now, Miss Elliot, what makes you say that he was not going to leave his wife?
Again, I find it very distasteful to discuss my private
Yes,
life.
of course, we all feel for you in this moment.
However,
don't worry, Bill Franklin's always wanted to play a judge, so he's having the time of his life.
1 minute, no, 1 minute. Carry on.
I must just say that Tommy came back from America the morning before he was murdered. He came into my office and he said while he'd been away, he had changed his mind and he was not going to leave his family. The only person I told was Mr. Coburn.
I think that seems a very reasonable explanation. Yes, Patrick.
Yes, I'd like to ask Johnny Worth. You seem to be a sort of a man who puts himself about a bit and you seem to know what's going on. Did you, in fact... Well, I mean, in the nice sense.
How do you mean put myself about?
Well, a bit like that, you know. You seem to move smoothly and things. Did you, in fact... Can I ask you two questions? Did you know that Carol was, in fact, having an affair with the governor?
Yes, I did.
That was general knowledge, was it?
I would say fairly general knowledge on the upper echelons of the company.
Yeah. And did you know about Peter and the insulin?
Yes, I did know he was a diabetic, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. And that's all we have time for. So, panel, I'd like you now to write down on your cards who done it and any clues that you may have spotted.
What?
And audience panel,
We haven't had the case.
would you fill in your cards now too, and we'll see which one of you wins our whodunit trophy. Answers in shorthand will not be accepted. I shall now collect your cards. Di? Bill? Anushka? Bloodhound?
Absolute confidence.
So, right. Now then, let's see where the audience panel cards are. Here they are. Let's see if we have a winner from our studio audience. No. No. Yes. Yes, we have one here, a winner, and we have a no. This is very interesting. We have a winner from Mrs. Kim Baxter, but she hasn't got a blooming clue. She's got the answer right, though. She's guessed who it was, but she doesn't quite know why. But congratulations.
Tremendous. Tremendous.
As a special prize this week, I am presenting my own personal magnifying glass. Congratulations. In pure plastic tortoiseshell. Right, now, let's see if our panel are as bright. Diana, who done it? And why?
Well, I think, first and foremost, I had a feeling that TJ probably had done it himself. I think he was getting ready to do a stone house and disappear. But I forgot to ask whether they'd found the body, so that was that. No, I think it was Johnny Worth, because he was far too cool all the way through. He didn't act suspiciously like everybody else did. And not only that, I don't know what his motive was for doing it, but it's just, I can only tell you, it's just female intuition, as I've known so many dirty rats in my time.
Yes, Bill.
Well, I'm afraid the fellow that was very loose with his decimals has worried me all along. Peter Arnold, I suspect, was heavily into the firm's books. His case, incidentally, there's an interesting thing. I think that case, which did interest me, was made up by very good arms people who make these things. The hypodermic was probably in the spine of the case, so that when you hit TJ's knee, there was just enough to come out. And with the other things going on, he probably didn't feel it. Then when the case was opened by the inspector, that would release the hypodermic, so it would be found lying loosely around in the bottom of the case. As an additional thing, I have an odd hunch you were also probably having an affair with the very lonely Mrs. TJ.
Good, right, thank you. Anushka.
Would you like mine to be short and sweet?
Yes.
Right. I think Malcolm Jackson did it because he had an Oedipus complex.
He'd what?
Something. He had an Oedipus complex.
Oh dear.
You see, and he really rather fancies his mother, and by getting rid of his father, he can have his mother all to himself and the money that his father had. And he put some poison on the pen. He was the only one who was sort of fiddling around on his own there, and he got the pen out of the bag, put it on the pad, and on and around that pen was the poison. I don't know exactly what sort of poison and how it was, but he knew about his father's chewing and sucking habits, and his father was going like this all the time. Short and sweet, he did
Yes.
it.
Fine. Patrick.
Well, William should have got it. In fact, it was the policeman who gave it away with his deduction. Because, in fact, if you work it all out, the cigarettes must have been OK because Peter had one. The drink was OK because it was tasted by Ian. The hypodermic was in a solid case, as the inspector said. The watch was worn by Ian, so that was OK. So, therefore, it must be murder by pen. And the only one who was in charge of the pens was your Oedipus complex man, Mr. Malcolm Jackson.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. All right, then. Enough of the suspense. Whoever done it, will you please reveal yourself in the nicest possible way? Congratulations, Bloodhound. Congratulations, Anushka. Right on the button. I'm sorry you didn't get it right down. It would have been nice. That's quite true. Yes, they are getting used to it now. Well, this was a slightly different story. As in the words of Sergeant Harris, it was a matter of deduction, in the sense that if you deducted the 4 red herrings, you are left with the only possible way of killing TJ. For instance, although he smoked one of Johnny Worth's cigarettes, so did Peter Arnold, and he's still fine. Well, Mr. Arnold did bump into TJ with the briefcase, but the hypodermic needle couldn't have been involved because Sergeant Harris checked that the case was solid. Now, Ian Coburn spilt some of the heart pill mixture. He tasted it, and he's still okay. Coburn was wearing the watch strap, but when he took it off, Arnold was watching him, so there was no opportunity to apply poison to it. The only other means was this pen. Now, you may remember, Malcolm kept this one from the others in his briefcase, but nobody else touched it. So by deduction, Malcolm must have killed his father with this pen when the old man sucked it. Now, next week, we go into the kitchens of a famous hotel when one of the chefs is killed. And having eaten there myself, I'm not at all surprised. So until then, it's good night from our panel and from our cast. And remember, next time that you're doing some writing and you're sitting there with your pen in your mouth, like this, you could be in for a very nasty surprise. However, this one's all right, so good.